And we begin tonight with breaking news. In the last hour and a half, Beech Grove police have now confirmed Officer Brian Elliott was killed tonight in the line of duty. You can see him here as he was being sworn in back in 2024 alongside the procession of officers with him tonight. Thanks so much for joining us and inviting us in. It's now 11 o'clock. A second police officer was also wounded tonight but is expected to survive. And now we know the suspect is in custody. We've got live team coverage for you tonight, beginning with Ashton Hackman, who's talking with police about finding the suspect, Kenneth Johnson. Ashton?
To shelter in place.
Yeah, well, Scott, we are still waiting an update from Indiana State Police, but we did get that confirmation within the last half hour that State Police and Indianapolis Metro Police SWAT have apprehended the person that they were looking for, Kenneth Johnson, the man accused of shooting and killing that Beech Grove officer and shooting and injuring another this evening. We can tell you that the scene has since cleared up here this evening in Beech Grove. All of those officers that we saw out here earlier have since left, and now the investigation is moving into collecting the evidence necessary, all at the same time while police are continuing to grieve and begin the process of mourning. We do want to give some insight as to what we've been told led up to this. We were told Beech Grove officers were here to this apartment complex just to the west of Beech Grove High School on a report of a domestic disturbance. This all happened a short time before 6 this evening, and when they did make contact at that call, they came into a situation where 2 of those officers were shot, and that's when the manhunt really began all evening long, from 6 until right around 10:30 this evening, and that suspect again was taken into custody by Metro Police SWAT. So again, we are waiting an update from State Police. Of course, we will bring it to you when it happens. For now, we'll send it over to Alex, who heard from neighbors.
Yeah, Ashton, the massive manhunt for 47-year-old Kenneth Terrell Johnson, who police say is the suspect in the deadly shooting of Beech Grove officer Brian Elliott. That came to an end just hours after a swarm of police officers descended to an apartment complex right near Beech Grove High School. Now, I want to show you the scene moments ago, just a few hours ago. As you can see, dozens of police officers from multiple jurisdictions joining in on an effort to find Johnson. A state police chopper could be seen circling the area nonstop. Police cruisers going up and down Emerson. No corner was overlooked, no stone unturned. Now, when it comes to 2 of their fellow officers, it's all hands on deck. And for those who live in the apartment complex, the swarm of officers created confusion and at times even tense nerves.
I was playing some video games. I heard it just outside my window. I didn't know what was going on. I got a little scared at first, definitely scared.
Did you text someone or did you call someone?
Yeah, I had texted my sister because she works nearby as well, and then I had like multiple phone calls from family and friends making sure I was okay because it was just all so sudden.
Now, that was Willow Satterfield. She lives at Beach Meadow Apartments. She says she saw cop cars driving through the grass. She heard people screaming, just a lot going on. Now, I talked to several other people who were trying to get inside the apartment, either because they had loved ones or they knew someone in there. They're trying to get back home after work. But you can imagine the initial confusion as people were checking in on each other to make sure that they were safe. Obviously, a very chaotic scene at first, but Ashton, it sounds like police officers are going to be giving an update here pretty shortly. We expect a press conference here pretty soon.
Sergeant John Perrine, Indiana State Police, along with Assistant Chief Wally from the IMPD. First, it's been a rough night. Our thoughts are with the family of Officer Elliott. Our hearts are absolutely shattered tonight with the news of Officer Elliott's passing. This community is going to be in mourning for the coming days, weeks, months, even years, and we'll continue to offer our support in that time. Earlier tonight, we came to you and gave you information about a police response to an apartment complex here in Beech Grove. And in those comments, we vowed to keep working until we found the person we believed to be responsible. I'm here to tell you that we've done that. We do have the person that we believe to be responsible for the police action shooting tonight, for the line of duty death of Officer Elliott. Kenneth Johnson is in police custody. If this community could see what I've seen over the past 3.5 hours, it would be nothing short of amazing. When you sit in the command center and you watch every law enforcement agency in the area and beyond, not only offering their resource and their knowledge and their abilities, but just their time to come together, an incredible team effort is what I've witnessed, what we've witnessed in the last couple of hours. Moments ago, an alert community member flagged down a police officer and said, hey, something's not right. And they were correct. They pointed us in the direction of where they believed the suspect was hiding, and IMPD SWAT was able to move in within minutes of that tip and take the suspect into custody in a common laundry room area of an adjoining apartment complex in this area. The suspect was taken into custody without incident. There were no injuries to any officers, and there were no injuries to the suspect. He is currently in police custody, and he is the only person we were looking for in this incident. I know that we put this community on edge several hours ago when we talked about that we were looking for somebody, and we hope that the community can rest a little bit easier tonight knowing that we found him. Assistant Chief.
To the family of Officer Elliott, we send our condolences to the officer that is recovering. And we pray for a speedy recovery to Chief Maurice and his team in Beech Grove and the city of Beech Grove as a whole. We know you're going through a tough time, and our hearts and prayers are going out with you. Regardless of the shape of the badge, the stitching on the patch, or the color of the uniform, law enforcement as a whole mourns. We're hurting tonight. We're devastated. But watching what unfolded today, the sheer resolve of the officers from all over, from everywhere across this area, working together collectively, one common mission, and that is bring the suspect into custody. Working under those conditions when you are devastated is difficult. And this is a difficult time for our officers as a whole, but I am so proud of the work that was done today. Showing up and making sure that we bring justice to this family. I'm so encouraged that it was a community member that came forward and absolutely noticed that something wasn't right and flagged an officer down. Otherwise, we would be out here longer. The city as a whole mourns. Our cops are mourning, but they will wake up tomorrow morning and they will answer the call like they always do. And we should be thankful for that. Despite all odds, they will continue to show up. So my collective prayer to the families impacted, and I pray for a speedy recovery, again for the other injured officer. We just send our prayers to Beech Grove as a whole, and just know that all of the agencies around you are here to support in the coming weeks, months, and years. Thank you.
How far
Can
was
you
the
tell us
laundry room?
about,
Go ahead.
How far was the laundry room from where the initial incident occurred?
I don't have an exact distance, but we're within a few hundred yards of the building that the incident occurred at to where we found the suspect hiding.
Is it true that the suspect was found with the alleged weapon?
A lot of details about that are forthcoming. We still have a long investigation ahead of us. Just because we found the suspect doesn't mean the investigation's over. It actually just starts. And so a lot of the questions you have are the same questions we have, and we're going to use our investigation to answer those.
can you
You
get
keep
more
saying that something
specific?
was amiss in terms of where you found them. Could you describe that in a bit more detail? Like, what was amiss? How were they able to find it?
I don't know the exact details. What I gather, somebody saw somebody that seemed out of place.
What time exactly was he brought into custody?
I don't have the exact time, but it was within the last hour. So thank you all for your continued coverage of this. We certainly appreciate your efforts and appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We did just get an update from Indiana State Police who just confirmed that they did take their suspect, Kenneth Johnson, into custody. And we did learn some additional tidbits as to what led up to that arrest. We're told that an observant citizen in that apartment complex where that original call came through noticed someone that felt off, called police, and we were told shortly after IMPD SWAT made their way to that apartment complex and apprehended their suspect. Obviously, there's still a lot of the investigation that we won't know until a later date, but they tell us their suspect, Kenneth Johnson, is in custody tonight. Logan Gay was at the hospital when this announcement came down that a Beech Grove police officer was shot and killed in the line of duty. She joins us now, continuing our coverage. Logan, what have you gathered?
Hey, thank you, Ashton. Yes, well, now I'm outside the Marion County Coroner's Office where Brian Elliott's body was escorted by numerous different agencies and other law enforcement officers. And we have some video of that right here. What I can tell you about being here in person was that it was just a very solemn, quiet moment. And you could feel the impact it was having on the officers who were driving by. You could see all the different agencies from the city and beyond in this escorting Brian here to the Marion County Coroner's Office. What we do know is that Brian had been on the Beech Grove Police Department for 2 years. He was a hometown guy, well respected by his colleagues, and had a family, has a wife. And we spoke with his police chief earlier this evening, who told us what the impact this is having, not only on the city, but also on his colleagues. And what he says was Brian's ultimate sacrifice. Take a listen.
He has left a lasting impression and legacy on not only our department, but the city. My thoughts and prayers are with Brian, his family, and his wife, Erin, and all their loved ones. This is devastating loss for our department and for our city.
Yes, this is definitely a devastating loss. You can hear how emotional he was during that press conference. And in fact, there were several other law enforcement officers with him, including the mayor. All of them seemed to be almost kind of holding back tears. This is just a very, very sad day. We asked what's next, and what they say is what they need most right now is prayers, not only for his colleagues, but definitely for Brian's family. As more information comes out about what happened and next steps, we'll make sure to get that to you. But yes, here right now, Brian Elliott's body is here at the Marion County Coroner's Office, where it was escorted by several different agencies, including his own colleagues. Scott?
All right, Logan Gay rounding out our team coverage for you tonight at 11. And as we mentioned, all of this unfolded near Beech Grove High School tonight. Police cleared the school around 9 this evening. Alex Almanza talked to one mom tonight about the moment where she learned about this lockdown.
When did you first learn about the situation here?
On my way to pick my daughter up about 5:55.
Did she text you, or how'd you learn?
I saw a bunch of police coming, and then she texted me and said, stay away, that they're on lockdown. So I pulled in here because it's as close as I could get. I just want to be as close to her as I could be.
What's going through your mind?
Well, I texted her and made sure she was okay and asked if they were locked down and following all their procedures, and she said they were. And so a little nervous, not something you want your kid to be in the middle of, obviously, but glad that she's okay, glad that school's following their procedures like they should be.
So again, that lockdown has been lifted. The suspect is in custody. Police are not looking for anyone else. Tonight's shooting comes nearly 26 years after the Beech Grove Police Department lost Officer Bill Toney. Toney was shot and killed September 29, 2000, while chasing down suspects who had run from a stolen van. One of the suspects, Benjamin Ritchie, shot Toney 5 times. Ritchie was executed by lethal injection last May. That was the second execution in the state of Indiana in 15 years. We're going to follow this story closely for you overnight. You can see any breaking developments during this broadcast tomorrow morning on Sunrise beginning at 4 a.m. and of course streaming on WTHR+. We'll take a break and be right back.